We're gonna be safe and sound tonight.
Hello everyone, someone was talking to me today about freeloaders and how do we deal with freeloaders in this society, and that's a great question. So today, we can go over the math here. Have age 30, 25, just make a round multiple of 5. The UBI gets pulled from a chart. Oh, by the way, the UBI is now determined 120 at 10 years old and 720 at 70. So we just increased the slope from $30 per 5 years to $50 per 5 years. So we have roommates for if you have a mortgage, if you have no mortgage on this side. 2, total UBI, 640. Groceries per person. This can be adjusted if you're like buying steak or something, this would be much higher. If you're buying rice, it would be much lower. Then we have our rent. This is a crappy 2-bedroom. It would be probably closer to $450 with a larger apartment. Then you just do the math here. You have your net income of negative $10 a month. This is then dollars per day per person. You just do divide by 60. This is your dollars per day desired to retire. So you can. This is your quality of life of your retired living. $20 a day. Then it just does an if statement. Can you retire? No. This one, can you retire? No. Now you can bump up this. I actually have not played with these numbers yet, so this is going to be very revealing. Let's say you have no mortgage and you're 45. You're only at $8 a day. Much better, but still only $8 a day. Let's say you get cheaper food. You're at $9 a day. And then you're at 65. $16 a day. No. But if you have... Oh, see? Yes. If you only want your lifestyle a little bit lower. So this does not include your pension system in the articles of syndication. This does not include any investments you have. This does not include any savings you have. So at 65, by yourself with no mortgage, you can have a modest retirement. Now let's say your landlord tax is a little higher because you have a nice place. This is $200. 12. No. Oh no. Let's say there's 2 of you getting this UBI because you and your spouse. Now your UBI is $1,300 a month. Your net income is $940 a month. You have $15 a day each of you. Yes, you can retire. $15 a day. You have to remember, this is your disposable income. This is after all of your bills are paid. So in order to get and this is showing that freeloaders will have a very hard time. So let's say this was like 50, you paid off your mortgage, $50 a month. You have a very comfortable retirement at 65. If there's only one of you, you're still at 17. That's still pretty impressive. But if you're at 30 years old, this is not something that you could retire on. This is not a freeloader territory. If you want to go out to eat for $20, let's say, that means you can only go out to eat every 4 days, and it takes up 100% of your disposable income to go out to eat once every 4 days. Or $10 to go out once every 2 days. What else could we do here? Let's say you have a larger mortgage. We'll say $600 for one of the nicer spots. Now you're at negative $4 a day. You can't freeload off this, even with a roommate. At 40 years old, you're still at negative $1 a day. You're gonna have to have a job. At 60 years old, with paying rent, $5 a day, I don't think you can retire off that. That's not really a good lifestyle. So this is just giving you an impression of how you could retire off of this. at 20 years old with a roommate and no mortgage, you're still only at $3 a day above drowning. Now, this does not include having children. This does not include meat and dairy tax. This includes cheaper groceries. You're being frugal with the groceries. People are going to want to work despite the UBI. If you really cut corners, you can barely get by on your UBI, which I think is a good thing, because then people make the argument like, oh, well, work is involuntary because you starve without working. It's like, well, no, you could technically, if you have no mortgage in a crappy apartment, you could technically, and a roommate, technically survive on $3 a day of spare disposable income. At 40 years old, you and your partner, almost $10 a day. So close to retiring. Oh, now you can retire. What else was I gonna do with this math? With the mortgage, let's say you want a really nice spot. You're at $3 above, $7 above. Let's say 4 people splitting that apartment. Oh, you're almost at that $10 with the UBI. 70. Ooh. But $10 a day, I mean, let's say you want to get a European vacation, right? You'd have to wait all year, spending no money all year to get like a $3,000 European vacation. So I think this is really fair. I think this UBI is really in the sweet spot. This change here to go from 120 to 720 instead of 240 to 600. 240 to 600 just does not take care of its seniors enough, and it gives a little too much privilege to 10-year-olds for sure. The 10-year-olds can work part-time. They have the energy for it. They have the drive for it, right? They got to put in their hours and their years, don't they? But at the same time, once you're considered an adult, you should be getting more than $0 for your UBI. At the very least, I would say $100 a month. So that's a good change. I really like where that's at now. These numbers, I actually have not played with them until this video, and I'm really liking how everything's turning out. Like, this is with no additional savings, no additional pension, no additional outside income. And it's very hard to get over $10 a day. Like, even with no mortgage, it's kind of difficult to get over $10 a day. Now, this is like senior citizens living off Social Security, $18 a day. I think that's fair. This is 4 roommates in one apartment, so they're at $12 a day, and they're 70 years old. So look at this, they're losing money now if they're 30 years old with 4 roommates, because they still have a mortgage. This is with the no mortgage. So, and groceries too. These people are like living off of carbohydrates, living off of grains. $100 per person per month. I mean, if you really wanted to get like frugal, maybe you could do 50. And now look at this, they can break 20 once they hit that 70. $21 a day. But that's still not great. You're going to want savings. You're going to want a pension. And that's what the articles of syndication is for sure. That's what working is for. This is like the most basic luxurious retirement you can get on UBI alone is $21 a day. And in most other cases, you're going to need additional supplemental income in the form of a 2-day work week, which I've been saying over and over again. Maybe 3-day if you really want to live large. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you and have a nice day.
If you want to see a new and better world come to fruition, as I do, then like, share, and subscribe. You can find an incredible amount of math, knowledge, and 3D renders by clicking on the channel name. And remember, we need you to help spread this vision across the internet for all to see and become familiar with. Let us build this new world together.